With your attention this Tuesday, the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court is expected to rule on the application made by the defence to drop the charges against Musawenkosi Mnikathi. The IEC Area Manager was found transporting voting material during the May 29th general elections in Imbali township outside Pietermaritzburg without police escort as required by law. Watching developments is SABC News reporter Mlondi, who joins us now live. And Mlondi, we've been in court multiple times. Perhaps you can let us in on what's happened so far and whether we're expecting anything dramatic to take place today.
Thank you very much, Ayanda. As you correctly said, that Musawenkosi Mnikathi was charged on the 29th of May when he was basically apprehended by the members of the MK, who then handed him over to the police officials, alleging that Mnikathi was transporting the ballot papers without police escort. So from that day, ever since that day, the MK members have been coming to court and have been protesting outside the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court, calling for the Department of Justice to act on this matter. And the trial started when the state called the witnesses from the MK members. Two witnesses were from the MK party, saying that they were the security guards at the time. One was the head of security for the MK, who briefly told the court that on that day he was at the gate of the voting station and he saw Mnikathi coming out of the voting station with the ballot papers, 4 ballot papers loaded in his car, and he tried to stop Mnikathi at that time, but Mnikathi did not stop. And then other members from other political parties also, they came to the party, and then that's when they tried to stop Mnikathi, and then they called the police officials, who then asked Mnikathi to return to the voting station with the ballot papers, and the key was confiscated by the police. And then later on, the police called for a backup from the Plesisle police station. Then the police, they took the car to the station. That's where Mnikathi was charged. But in court, also the state called the witness from the IEC, who mentioned that he trained the officials of the IEC during that time for about 2 weeks, telling them on the things that they should do and things that they shouldn't do. He mentioned that though Mnikathi was transporting the ballot papers, he was performing his duties when he was transporting ballot papers, because the only crucial times is during the early hours when they are delivering the material to the voting station that needs to be escorted by police, and later in the afternoon once the voting station is closed and the counting have been completed, because they are saying that at that time they need to take back the receipt slip back to the warehouse where they basically their center is at. But after the state completed their evidence with the investigating officer, who also mentioned that he just arrested Mnikathi at that time, and then he took the statement from Mnikathi and took the statement from the other witnesses, the defense attorney applied for Mnikathi to be discharged, saying that there's no evidence that Mnikathi needs to answer to, because at the time he was performing his duties. As he mentioned that the IEC official that gave evidence in court, he mentioned that during the day there's no need of the area managers to be escorted by the police, because they are performing their jobs during the day. But for today we will be waiting for to hear the court ruling on that. If the court rules that Mnikathi must be discharged, then it will be another basically a blow to the EMK members, because they believe that Mnikathi was wrong when he was transporting those ballot papers. But today also the court is not starting as yet, Ayanda, as I'll just step out of the shot so that you can see members of the public are standing outside the court, because there's information that at the courthouse there's no water, there's no electricity, and inside the court only the staff members from the court are inside. They're trying to find way of basically dealing with other matters in relation to the cases that are going to be happening today in court. They will be remanding all of the matters. When we spoke to one of the sources inside the court, is briefing us that they'll be remanding the matters for other dates, because at this point in time they are not sure when will the electricity or water be back. But we managed to speak to the municipality, Umsunduzi local municipality, who then told us that the problem of electricity, they are trying to resolve that issue, because there was lightning last night, and the officials, they picked up that the lightning did affect the electricity. They are not sure at this point in time whether that impact also affected the water supply in the CBD. Back to you in studio.
Wow, talk about a confluence of issues. Mlondi, Radebe, thanks very much indeed for covering all of them for us. Mlondi's live to us there from just outside the Pietermaritzburg Magistrates Court. We'll see whether even this matter will be heard today, given the other unrelated issues around the courtroom infrastructure that Mlondi has just highlighted there.